Hey y'all, welcome back to the narrative. We're your hosts. I'm Layla and this is.
Brie.
And today we're here with.
Dennis, so come on.
And Vinith.
Where you guys from?
Right now I live in Chester County, not too far from here. I grew up in India. I have lived in Singapore. I lived in the U.S. in another part. But we have called Chester County home for now about 6 years now.
And right now I live in Schaffhorn, um, but I was born and raised in Uganda, a country in the eastern part of Africa. Um, I've been in the Philadelphia area for about now 15 years. So I lived in Philadelphia and then moved to the a little bit out of the center of Philadelphia in Chestnut Hill, then moved to Montgomery County, and now commute from Chalfont. Yeah.
What are you guys' occupations? What's your career? What do you guys do?
I work as head of the global head of inclusion, opportunity, and belonging at SEI. My work is with the culture uh, function area of SEI as the company. And predominantly, what I do is continuously engaging employees so we can create a safe, inclusive, diverse work environment where everybody can find opportunity with SEI, not just as a job, but they'll thrive at it because they find the same level of fulfillment that they're looking for in their career. So basically, that's the work that I support SEI with.
Yeah. Thank you, Dennis. I'm at SEI as well. I'm part of the management team, working as a managing director with both administrative as well as business development. Uh, what I like about most uh, is that SEI also gives an opportunity to reach out and contribute to the community, and uh, and that's a completely a voluntary opportunity, and that allowed me to cross paths with Dennis and wonderful work that he and his team does, and that's what allowed me to cross paths with where we are sitting here today recording this podcast. So I'm really feeling very fortunate, privileged, and very happy and proud uh, for what we are able to do with YMCA.
Well, thank y'all for supporting us and helping the why. But so our first question for you is what challenges did you face growing up and how did you overcome them?
I don't know. That's do we have the time?
Oh, absolutely, Dennis. This is the time. You have to tell the story.
Yeah, they said who you are is a summation of so many stories, and that includes those stories that are based on the challenges that you face and overcome and moves you to the next place where you need to be. Growing up in Africa for most of my life, definitely challenges are expected. I was born in a community that was experiencing war. And I was personally affected by this conflict, violent conflict, as a child. At about 9 years old, I was abducted by the rebel group then, the LRA, and I was kept in captivity as a child soldier and a slave, working for the militia for about 6 months. When I eventually escaped, motivated by the love for my family and my determination to see them again, I luckily escaped and came back home to a community that was broken. They are very deprived, their livelihood destroyed by the war, but at the same time, everyone is worried about surviving to the next day and no time to welcome me home and give me a place to feel safe again. So my mother took me out to the city where I could get education, and education became my way out of that trauma and terrible situation. And I kept in school. Um, Maybe mostly also because it just the teachers felt safe. In school was a place where what you do is reflected, is a reflection of the effort you put in. Nobody is judging you because of anything other than how well you're performing on your exams and all that. So that felt very safe and like a place where my past was not becoming something that people take to be my identity, to be labeled a child soldier or label any other negative name that I could have got. So, and that being in school paid off because school gave me hope and also reassured me that if I stay in school, I would have an opportunity in life, and that's exactly what happened. Yeah.
That's a great story.
That's an amazing story.
I told you there's more to that. We
Yeah.
just don't have enough time. Maybe
Yeah.
next
Wow.
time. Yeah.
Very thankful that you came out the person that you were. We wouldn't be here. So
Yeah, I'll pass it on to Vinit.
Thanks, Dennis. Um, so I grew up in northern part of India as a child. My dad was a high school principal, um, working in mostly rural community. So it was interesting. I would say, I mean, we were very fortunate. There was always food on the table. As a child, while always felt safe, but at the same time, my family was big on education. My father himself wasn't. I remember as a child, typical Indian uh, Hindu family living in a part of um, India where the the local language was a very rural dialect of Hindi, which is one of the major languages in India. And at dinner time, when he was home, by dinner time, he would interact with us in English. And he would uh, sometimes make us use a fork and a knife while eating dinner. Right? And in that sense, if you really look at it, and at least in my view, he was that, sort of a futuristic parent because he knew the kids have to get education if I want to make them better than myself, and B, these are the things that they are going to need when they go out of this safe boundary of home. So as I look back, I truly appreciate that.
those are both really encouraging stories. Very different from each other, but similar in the same way. I appreciate you telling us that.
Absolutely. They
So
say everyone is who you are is a summation of the life experiences that you pass through every day. So everyone has a story, and I always appreciate the diversity.
And I want to hear from you guys. What does success look like to you?
My definition of success, there's a trend, and it's like, are we rich? It's like your younger self asking you, are we rich? And you say yes, but you're not saying rich as in money wise, rich as in a relationship, or you're just happy. So I feel like to me success is being truly happy, and that means a lot of things to a lot of different people, especially me. I truly happy would mean I'm, you know, financially stable. I'm able to support myself and support others because that's what makes me happy, helping others. Success is again meeting a goal or taking steps to get to being happy. And being rich all the time doesn't make you happy, but as long as you know what does and you have a plan to get you there, I think that's what helps you get successful.
What resources do you need to help you overcome obstacles?
honestly, I thought about this question for a while, for like a long, long while, and I couldn't think of much. The opportunities that I have at my age now, I'm very grateful for,
Mm-hmm.
especially opportunities that I get in this very space. I get so many opportunities here. I get a chance to do so many things, and even not even in this space. Even when I was in school, I had so many counselors that just was like sweating to open their hand to you. Like especially my assistant principal,
Yeah.
still got her number. Like it's just I don't really. have anything that I could ask for. I wish I had a little more help understanding like what I'm about to get into with college,
Yeah,
but other than that, I think that this space fulfills that for me perfectly.
that's
Y-
good.
Yeah, for me, I have it for sure, but the way I describe it is I've always been like a hands-on learner.
Mm,
So the thing that I need to help me get through obstacles is I need someone to show me and explain to me. I
mhm.
need you to break it down, make me understand. And I'm like, I could do it really fast. As soon as I
Yeah,
understand something, I know it. And so I'm great at math because as soon
yeah,
as you explain it to me, I know it and I can do it. So I need like things explained to me and broken down to me. And so I can understand it, and that gets me through most of my obstacles. If I don't understand what I'm getting into, like when I go to college, I pray that everyone can answer my questions because I would probably lose my mind
yeah.
if I don't know what's going on. But that is like having support and someone who could really teach you.
hmm
That helps me get through all my obstacles.
Amazing. Those are all very great outlook. Absolutely. We always say that level of self-awareness that you both have shown, it's incredible because, you know, sometimes you don't even know what you need, and that should be okay. Um, Based on my experience, I really do believe sometimes if you think of the overall what you need to be able to be successful, it can be overwhelming. So living in the moment sometimes, like what do I need now? And that's going to be different from what you're going to need in 1 year. So thank you for sharing that question, that answer.
Thank you for asking.
Yeah.
Do you want to go to the next one?
Yeah. So, next question for you guys is another deep one. What advice do you guys have for the youth facing things like racism, poverty, or lack of opportunity in this generation?
So a couple of things. One is that uh, if I something I if I turn this question into what I would tell to my younger self, um, the path in life is never linear, and I did not know it then, and I don't know that enough even now, right? So I have to remind myself. Sometimes I have to remind myself every day. Um, uh, but this is uh, the advice I would give to anyone who is trying to overcome any challenge. Now, there are some systemic things. It could be racism, it could be classism, it could be casteism, it could be poverty, just not having resources or access to resources. Um, the so two things, and again, it may sound like a little bit of a cliche, is many times we don't realize that we have greater control over what we bring to this quest, and join this with the thing I said previously is that they will the path will probably be not linear. So if you combine the two, that uh, I'm gonna show up no matter what, and yes, when I show up, maybe I'll find the doors locked, you know, every eight out of 10 times. But uh, sometimes what happens is that you realize that that's the door that you were hoping to open is not the only door there. And at least in my case, that's what happened. As I shared with you guys, I never thought that I would go to college and do a master's program in computer science, and which will open tons of opportunities.
Thank you for
Yeah.
that perspective, Vinit. My perspective, my take on that is racism or all the other isms, they are systemic a lot of times, which means you cannot walk around and point at one person as responsible for creating it. It has been built as a system that is functioning, that you are meeting in different places, and sometimes, many times, they're completely legal. When you go to a place and somebody is not giving you a job because you're black, and they'll find other explanations as to why you don't qualify when the real reason is because you are from a race that is not preferred, or you're from a gender that's not preferred, or you come from a zip code that makes them hard to envision you as one of the community members that will meaningfully contribute. So these systems are created and they become barriers for so many people in the marginalized community. My advice, besides what Vineet just shared, which is you always have to keep a growth mindset. But most importantly, you have to know that it's also your responsibility to deconstruct the narratives that is created around racism. People create narratives to support the systems that affect others negatively. One of the narratives could be, okay, um, black people are lazy, or black people are not as professional. So there are so many of these narratives that are created to sustain these um, systems like racism. Your job as a young person, because you have a responsibility to change the future, your job is to deconstruct that system, is to change that narrative. So how do you do it? Showing up ready to take on the promise you have made. So if somebody thinks, when we say we should, for example, in my job, let's have a diverse workforce, which means you have to get people from all backgrounds, from all race. I am asking people, my job is to let them know I'm not asking you to lower your standard for the kind of employees you want. I'm just asking you to treat everyone the same. That means any other race is just as qualified as the one that you have historically hired. So your job as a young person is to do for me one thing. You have to keep the doors of opportunities open so that when those opportunities come, it doesn't have to knock because you're ready for it. How do you do that? Get education, whichever way. Sometimes some people say, oh, it's too expensive. Well, there are many ways of learning today. You don't have to be in the classroom all the time. People get a lot of certifications online. All you need is a computer and internet and all that. Continuously invest in building your toolbox. That makes you gainfully relevant to so many areas where you want to be. Because when you show up there, show up as the person who is not asking for a favor. You're showing up as a person who deserves to be there because you qualify to be there. You're not asking to be treated differently. You're bringing just the same value as any other person who would be good for that job. And once you get there, prove it. Show them what they have been missing by discriminating against people like you. Be the best at what you do. And that also takes continuous development. Learn everything you need to learn and kill the job. Do it so well that you are irreplaceable. Your story will affect another person in your group who needs to be hired. Another black woman, another black man, another Asian man, another Asian woman, another person with disability, another LGBTQIA member, all the marginalized group. You have to do the right thing that open doors for everyone else. So young people, deconstruct the narrative. Change the narrative so you deconstruct the system, and that way we incrementally change the future, the trajectory of our future as a group of people who may be marginalized by poverty, racism, or all the other kinds of discrimination.
Thank you for watching. I'm Bree.
Layla.
Dennis.
And we need